Everybody, welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Today we're going to be working some more on my bees and blossoms. Bee and blossom? Bees and blossoms. I think it's plural. Junk journal. So y'all come in and say hi. Let me know you're here. We're live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching replay. Let me get you guys pulled up so I can see chat. Hey, Bonnie. Hopefully someone will let me know if sound's okay. Thank you, Dawn. The battery seems good. It's 100%, so it's as good as I can get it. Yeah, I don't know what happened the other day. That was weird. So, but I was all paranoid today. I was like watching it like every 20 minutes. I was over there checking. It's like, is it charged? Is it charged? Frustrating. Anyway, so yeah, it's good. So we're going to be doing some junk mail envelopes today. I've got a bunch of them. Y'all know I have a whole box of them. But I pulled out a few different ones, some which I've sanded. I like to sand them if they have like a material that's sandable. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of the shiny stuff is usually sandable. If they're not sandable, then sometimes I'll just dye them with inks or coffee dye them even. But the ones I'm going to use today I've sanded, and then there's one that I didn't sand I'm going to try something with. I kind of saw it last minute, and it was a pocket done with a junk mail envelope, kind of similar to the one I was going to do, but a little bit different. And I saw it by, well, I saw it on House of Mahalo, Justine, but she saw it on Dee Dee Farago. So I went to Dee Dee's video and watched hers too, and that's probably the one I'll link. I might link them both. I don't know. They're a little different. So the one Dee Dee did was originally gosh, it's probably like 4 years ago. But it was a Christmas one. And the one that Justine did on House of Mahalo was actually a Edith Holden one. So, which is why it came across my feed instead of, because I'm not looking at Christmas stuff yet. No. Not going to do it. So anyway, we're going to play with some junk mail envelopes. We're going to make a couple of like pocket flip type thingies to decorate this with. So it should be fun. Let's see. Hey, Deborah. Who did I miss? Got Deborah, Bonnie, and Dawn, I think. Oh, and Sherry. And Sheila's Little Treasure. Some people don't say hi. They just kind of come in. They lurk for a minute, and then they wander around. Which is fine. I don't care. But I just think it's funny. I usually will see them pop on because they're either on my friends list or something else, and I'll be like, oh, hi. But then they're not really there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get this camera pulled up so we can get started. You know I take forever, so let's get this started. Hold on. And my iPad is in the way. All right, looks good. I don't know, did I do anything? I don't know if I did anything while you guys were gone. Let me look. I can't remember. So not that. I did something. What was it? I don't even know what I was working on. I think it was the transfer, right? Which is in one of these. Probably be the last one. I did that. That's what I did on my last one. This one little bee is just going to get stuck all the time. I should have lifted them up just a little bit higher. They're cute. And then we did this little pocket. I ended up putting this card in. This was from... Ooh. Was it My Porch Prints? It's either, I think it might be Liana Scrap. I'm trying to, I don't have them written on the back of them, so if I pull them out of their original envelope, then I forget where they're from. Does it look like her stuff? Maybe. It was either Liana Scrap or My Porch Friends. I don't know which one. One or the other. But it's cute. It's got a little like saying on it. It says Rose and Nellie with Grandmama spent a delightful day watching the busily humming bees storing the honey away. In a pot of rich honey did Grandmama bring forth their secret store. And when that is finished, she said to them, I'll give you a jarful more. So, cute little poem on there. So I stuck that in there. And I think that the colors worked out pretty good. All right, so let's see. For this, I want to put it on, I want to put one on one of the envelopes. I have one of these that doesn't have hardly anything in it yet. This one's getting a little chunkier. This one's almost completely flat. We haven't done much in this one. So I'll probably work in this one today and fill it out a little bit. Don't think I want to play with that page. But I am thinking I might put these envelopes maybe on here. I'm debating if they're going to fit. I think the one I'm going to do as a pocket will fit. Yeah, I might do one of those. Maybe not this one, but although it wouldn't hurt, I could do that one. But I'll do one of these cardstocks, and then maybe one of these cardstocks, and then I might do one from a different one that's not as thick yet. But both of these are honestly about the same. I'm trying to keep them evenly filled, which is always a challenge. It always seems to happen that one I will concentrate on. I don't know why. I don't know, because usually I put the pages almost the same in each one, but for whatever reason, I end up mostly working in one. All right, so we're going to play with this one, I think. And it's just a matter of, where I'm going to put this. It's going to be a flip on one. So on one, I will have it as, might cut it off. I'm not sure. I haven't decided, because I like it to flip to the right. And I just noticed that these are attached on this side. So instead of having it on that way, it's going to be on the bottom, which is fine. I think it'll be fine. I might just cut this one off. So if I cut it off, I could easily put it here and then have it flip out, and then you can insert the card there. Yeah, I think that's what I'll end up doing. And then I can either have it just be writing space with something under here, or I could have it be a tuck somehow. Probably if I did a tuck, it would probably be behind. No, it wouldn't work. Wouldn't work as a tuck. That's okay. I'll probably have it just as a flip out. So I'll do one like that. I'm thinking through this because I really kind of haven't thought through it. This one is the same, except the attachment is on, the window's on the top, which works for the fold-up pocket. For me anyway. If you put things on the left, then I just don't. I don't know why. Probably because I'm right-handed. But this works better for this type of pocket. So we'll do this one. I don't want it here because obviously the ribbon's going to get in the way there. But like I said, I could put this one there. It'll be covered. It won't be this color. So do I do these first or this first? I don't know. Maybe we'll do this one first. This one's a little more complicated, the one I saw today. It's got some, it's basically, it folds like this, it folds like this, it becomes a tuck there, and then a tuck here. And then depending on how you put it on your page, you could possibly even have another tuck. So it has the possibility of having lots of tucks. But, so I did cut out a window in case I want to get exactly around that. But if nothing else, it's nice having these because then you can ink around things if you miss it or if you need to ink after for any reason. I don't know. I just like to have one. Those are all Discover envelopes, so they'll all have pretty much the same size, I think. No matter which window it is. Yeah, they're all the same. So I get lots of those, even though I've told them 100 times, quit sending me stuff. But I guess it's good because I use their envelopes. I don't like getting all that spam credit card mail. One, because I'm always worried somebody will steal it out of the mailbox. You know, in this day and age. So I think I will try to put that one there if I can. And then I'll work on this brown one. I'll probably put 2 in this one. That'll give this one a little more bulk. And I have the option of moving this up or down, you know, wherever I want it. So the bulk is spread out. Does that make sense? I'm going to keep this one out for size, so let me keep this up for size. Should I pull it out of there? Yeah, I'm just going to pull the 2 pages out. Hopefully I can remember where it goes. I'll leave it open and hopefully that will help. Oh my goodness, my tooth is hurting. This tooth is driving me insane. I thought I was going to die yesterday. It's so bad. And it's making me not want to eat. I think I've lost 5 pounds already. And we don't have the money. I cannot go to the dentist because there's just no money. So, what do you do? I don't know. I don't know what people do. I'm about to lose insurance completely. Well, I'll have to get, you know, whatever government insurance there is. Because hubby didn't get enough work. Alright, let's see. I think I want this one. Are they almost identical? I think these 2 are identical. Yeah, these 2 are identical. Do I want the tab on this page? So one has a little tab. This is the top. We're going to make a pocket out of that one. These 2 are pockets. Go over there. Alright, we'll do this one. So we're going to cut it off so that it works for a possibly a top tuck. I'm not sure. Maybe a top tuck. I don't think it needs to be a top tuck because I'm going to have the side for putting the card in. Boy, this is a messy one. We're going to have to cover it a lot. All right, let's go ahead and trim it. I'm going to leave it a little below. That way, if I do, I could just give myself the option of having either top or side. I might do that in case putting it in sideways is more difficult or something. All right, I need a pencil. Chalk pencil, maybe. Okay, I didn't eat before my live because I didn't want to activate this stupid tooth. But so I thought, well, I'm really hungry. So I had some applesauce and it still activated it. So now it's hurting. Doesn't seem to matter. There it is. Okay. I know I'm complaining. Sorry. I'm venting. I shouldn't do that on my lives. Is it going to write? That won't write on there at all. All right. Let's use a pencil. See if that'll write on there. I think I want to go far enough up that if I want to fold this over, I can. So I'll trim it here, but then I'm going to fold it about here. I like to fold them because, what color is that? That's like green. It just gives a little more stability if you fold them. So let's cut it off first. I could probably use my trimmer, but I think I'm just gonna, no, I can't see that line. There it is. I'm just gonna use my X-Acto blade. I did put a new blade on my old trimmer because I found some of those. I still haven't ordered blades for my new trimmer. Well, newer trimmer. Neither one of them are new, but one is newer than the other. So cut that off, and you can save this as a pocket for somewhere else. They make nice little pockets. It's already pretty much there. You just got to cover it. So we'll save that, and then this we're going to cover. Having it open makes it easier to cover up this edge that will be seamed still. And then I'm going to fold this, like I said, I'm going to fold that down because I don't like that edge. It's just not very strong. So I like to just give it, I'm just going to take off that teeny tiny little bit right there. Fold that down. I really don't need this part. I'll fold it first if I can get in there. I think I can. So this is just for strength. That's the only reason. So I'll fold that there. Kind of, sort of straight. Kind of, sort of. And then we'll fold this one on the back. So now that top is going to be a lot stronger. We're just going to glue that somehow. Okay, I'll hold it like this. I think that'll work. We'll use our glitter. I've tried it. It didn't work. The clove oil it didn't do a darn thing. I've been gargling with clove oil and salt. I've even got some of that ambisol stuff, whatever it's called. Is that what it's called? Ambisol? But honestly, every time I use it, it feels like it makes it worse. I was going to cut that edge off there. I'll just go to there. And then to snap that little piece off right there. I don't need that bulk. There. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. So ibuprofen helps, for sure. But I'm taking way too many. Way more ibuprofen than I should be taking. I already take a pain medicine for my chronic symptoms, which I won't go into, but I have a chronic condition that I take pain medicine for already. So I'm already taking that. And even with all that stuff, I'm still in pain. It doesn't matter. Now granted, the one I take regularly, I've been on for 18 years, so who knows how much it does anymore. Probably not that much. All right, so there's that. Now we got a nice stable edge for the top. And then we're going to cover this with something pretty. Just leave that glue out. Yeah, the salt water, warm salt water in the clove mixture, it does help for like maybe 20 minutes. I tried to get Care Credit and they would not approve us because Dave's jobs have been so unstable because he's not doing movie work. He's doing crew work, which is every job is a different job for a different employer. It's never the same. So he doesn't look stable right now. And it's been a real pain. Yeah, they won't approve us for Care Credit, which is sad because our credit score is like, I don't know, 705 or something. It's not terrible, but they don't care. So yeah, we're just like, oh well, I don't know what we'll do. So I got all these papers. Most of these are My Porch prints. They were digitals. I just printed them out on normal paper. But they're good background filler collage type papers. So they're pretty. These look more like wasp than bees. Oh, it's a queen. The queen looks like a wasp, doesn't she? Interesting. So yeah, that's not happening. Color wise, I'm probably going to stick with I don't know that I want the purple. I'm going to stick with the browns and the yellows. Might do a little blue later. I don't know. We'll see. So this has got like just writing and bees and stuff. I'm trying to get a piece that doesn't have a lot of other stuff for this little section. Maybe this piece. And I'm just going to glue it just there to cover that up. I don't know if I want that little wasp there though. Maybe I'll just chop him off. I've also got this one. It's very dark. I'm not sure I want to go quite that dark. I do like this one. I might want that one on the front. How about that little piece? That might be all right. Cover it enough. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I'm just covering it enough that you won't see it when it's... This part's actually going to be glued down, right? No. Let me think. All right, so here's our piece. Which way? This way. Do I glue it to the back? Oh, okay, never mind. That's going to be glued down, so you'll only see this little bit right there. So I won't even see all that. I'll see this side, but we'll cover that with something later. All right, so I don't really need to worry too much about what's heading here. All right, we'll just use this little piece then. Oh my God. All right, so we're just gonna cut this out. I guess I could just lay it on here like this. Just to kind of get an idea of about where I want to tear it maybe, or cut it. I don't know if I want to cut it. Pencil, actual pencil this time. Well, it's a watercolor pencil. Oh well. Fold over, not fold over. Probably don't need to fold over, so we'll just go right to here, I think. And this doesn't even matter if it's even, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm not gonna use my trimmer. Good job. Oh my goodness. Glue stick or regular glue? I'll trim it after, it's just gonna be easier. I just don't want to hit the window. Gotta be careful so I don't go too far in. So right about there. Debating if I want to put glue on the paper or the inside. I think I'm gonna put it on this edge and then I'll add it to the rest because it's always so hard to insert. And I still got to do that other side too. Did I get all the way down there? No. Don't stick it under that other paper, girl. That would not be good. All right, so we're just gonna push that over there. Just enough to cover. And then we're going to glue it down just a little bit more. It really doesn't have to go over this area. It's not really going to hurt if I go over this area, so I just will. If nothing else, I guess it gives it more stability. And then we'll just trim it off. But you won't see a lot of that. All right, so I will keep this whole piece because I really probably need that curve, but it's there. I'm gonna, attach it around the envelope because that's what I like to do. Okay, so there's that. I need to fix our fold, but you know what? I'm gonna let that dry for a minute before I try to fix that fold, or it'll wrinkle funny. Get glue on there. Get off my window. All right, so for the outside, I mean, I could use any of these, honestly. they're already kind of collagey. I could even cut out just one solid piece if I wanted, but I like the layering, so I'll probably layer it. I could just tear it mostly. I was going to use the little thing and trace it, but you know, I don't know. I think I'm just going to tear around the edge. All right, let's just do that. Well, maybe not tear, but I don't know, maybe I should. This you will see. So I should go all the way over there. All right, let's go right here and tear that edge. So I should probably just mark it because it'll never be straight if I don't. I'm going to go over the window just ever so slightly. At least that's the plan. Let's see if it works. I might just use this grid. Try to get this somewhat straight. I could also use my deco ruler, but I don't know. It's just as quick and easy really to just do that. So I'll put this piece here. No, maybe up here. Yeah, that's better. It's a big old headless bee. I don't know. We'll probably cover it with something else because it looks kind of funny with a big old headless bee there. Have its head popping out the other side. We don't know that we want to do that either. So this piece we'll do. I could wrap around. Well, I do have to do the other side. I could totally just wrap this piece just to save time. So if I wrap it, it would need to be from there and then to about here. It's got a little bump there. I'll probably keep it and just collage something in there. All right, let's tear that edge. Get my thing lined up. Hope this works. These take a while only because all the just collaging. Collaging takes a while. Collaging is one of those things where it's just going to take a while. So that would be like that. And then let's see if it's going to come out in the right spot. I'm more worried about the front than the back. So we'll make sure this is in the right spot. Maybe I should just glue it and then fold it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tear off this edge. It's somewhat straight. I don't care if some of the black shows. It doesn't really matter. That's why I sanded it. So if some of it shows, it just looks kind of interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and glue that down. And then we'll glue that piece down. Don't lose it. Do I really want that? I don't like the half bee. It's bugging me. Literally. It's literally bugging me. So I might use a different piece. Yeah, I might do that. All right, let's just go ahead and glue this piece here. I'll try not to get too much glue on my window. You can always clean off the glue you get on your window. We're just going to stick that there as a little collage. Oh, I should have inked it. I was really going to ink these. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where is my ink? Probably I'll have to re-glue that probably. This is going to dry. I'm just going to try to get this ink just a little bit. At least enough that it looks inked. There, let's try it. I think it's dry. It really looks dry. Hold on. It totally dries so fast, which is nice when you want it to. frame to that window. Should I just cut another piece? You know, I'm just going to cut another piece. I don't like the half B. He's bugging me. Weird little half B. We'll tear that there. Ink it this time. Is this going to go here? And I can just glue to the whole piece. Still have to fold that other side. I wonder if I can fold both sides. They're glued now. Maybe. We'll find out. I will find out. I'll have to give it some time to dry for sure. Because I should have went ahead and folded the other side probably. Because now I'll never be able to find the fold. We'll see. Maybe. Let's put this one here. Cover up the window just ever so slightly. Okay. Trim that. And I might just... No, I guess I'll go with the curve. I went with the curve already once, so I could have left it straight, honestly, but it's already there. We'll just go with it. And this needs just a teeny bit. I feel like I knocked to the edge there. Hold on. You can feel it. There it is. It's like I could feel the spot, but I couldn't see it. What didn't glue? Right. There. All right. Now it's glued. Okay. So we'll fold this in a second. I'm going to give it a second to dry. But in the meantime, we can do this part. So we're just going to fold over like that. Normally, I don't even, if I'm going to glue these down, I don't bother with doing the backs, but this one's not going to be glued down, so we're going to do the back. That's close enough. It's only missing like a tiny little bit. I could even cut that down if I wanted, honestly, which probably wouldn't hurt anything because the window's not right there. I can trim this just ever so slightly. I'm not going to try that. That'll never work. Well, it will, but it'll be hard. So we're going to do it this way. I just want to trim off just a tiny bit. Where is my ruler? There it is. I buried it. So just a little. That way it'll match up to my tear better. I get these from the Dollar Tree. Very handy when you need to do something like that. And we'll just go right there. Okay. Now, that's much better. Okay, we'll ink it just because. Here, just a little bit of ink. I didn't tear this edge, so I'm just gonna not worry about it. Not a big deal. And I'll put something there. I don't know what. I'll probably just throw in a little piece of this before I do the rest. Could even it out if I wanted. Should I even it out or should I leave the little angle? Sometimes a little angle can be a pain. I'm half tempted to just even it out. I don't think it'll get too weak or anything. I've already got like 3. Where are my little scissors? I buried them. There they are. I'm just going to even it out. That way I don't have to cut around that shape. I honestly do not think it will affect anything. So there. We'll just do that. It's just going to be a pocket anyway, so. Alright, and we can glue that to that. I'm going to ink this. I could probably just ink this after. Yeah, I'd ink it. Okay. Glue that to that. And then we got to glue something on the inside that's pretty. I'm not going to glue it close until I do that inside because that would be so much harder. But we can glue this down. I hope this is pretty. These always take so long. I'll probably only get one done. It was so funny too because I was watching, oh, who was it? Dee Dee. I was watching Dee Dee's video and I watched maybe half of it, but I watched it really fast because like I said, I literally saw it maybe an hour ago. And I was watching, and her challenge was to do 3 things the same in 15 minutes. And I'm like, what? I can't even cut out the paper in 15 minutes. How are you going to do 3 things? She made 3 of these in 20 minutes. What? I can't do that. I don't know how she did it. I don't know if she edited. I'm just like, what? Girl, you have more skills than me because I ain't getting this done in 15 minutes, let alone 20 or let alone 30. It ain't happening. I mean, we've already been at this for 35 minutes, so yeah. I don't know. Maybe I run my mouth too much or something. I really don't know. That was funny. I was like, what? 15 minutes? Let me find something I can throw in this little area. I don't like that. This got nice writing. The B on this little spot won't matter because you can't really tell it's a B. Now I lost my other ruler. I keep burying everything. Am I really too far out? I'm going to try zoom. I'm going to zoom just a little. Y'all yell at me if I get out of camera, though. That's usually what ends up happening. Right there. That little piece there. Oh, I really should trim that edge. Because it's going to be against. Ooh, can I do it? I don't know. It's going to be such a tiny little piece to try to trim. Nope. I'll just have to fake trim it. So fake trimming, it means take your scissors and you just tear little bits away. That way it kind of looks rough. That's better. So I had three sides that were torn. Well, 2 sides because the bottom's not, but it's not on here either. So there. Kind of wanted it a little longer, but it's fine. It will work. Don't glue the table. I need tweezers. Is that upside down? Let me look at it. It's so hard to tell. I think that's the bottom of the V. If it's upside down, it's upside down because I really can't tell. I have no idea if it is or not. All right, we'll put that there. And then I want to do something a little longer here, I think. I could put the words this way. Or, oh, I like that. I think I'll use that. But I'm going to tear it. All right, so we'll tear this edge first. Oh, I have a nice little honeycomb there. I would love to preserve. Let's see if I can. Do I need to go all the way across? No, I only need to go to right there. So yeah, I can preserve that little honeycomb. I'm just going to tear this piece off because I might put him somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. All right, and we're going to tear this edge off. So we got a nice torn edge. And then we're going to tear another piece. Does it need to overlap? It wouldn't hurt, only because you're less likely to snag it. So I'll let it overlap a little. So we'll do it, we'll say about maybe there. Try to get on my grid. And glue this down. Where's the edge of that envelope? You know, I think it's right here. Not that it matters. Here, hold on. I'm just going to try to fold this because I can't tell where the edge is now. I think it's right there. I'm hoping it'll fold. I might have to use a score. I'm going to score it just to be safe. Where is my scoreboard? I don't see it. I know it's down here. I buried it. Alright, we'll glue that in a second. I'm just going to... So it's not there because that's where the tuck is. It's right... You can kind of see it. I should have folded it for... Oh, there, I can see the little indentation. It's right here. Alright, so right there. Can I see the indentation on this side? Not really. Alright, we're going to move it down. I hope you guys can still see. I'm going to take a chance and do it this way. Just to help it a little bit. It's kind of thick. I probably should have just not put it on the side that was going to glue down. It is a little thicker than I would have liked. It'll definitely be sturdy, but definitely, see, I'm still getting the wrinkles. That's what happens when it gets too thick. Either if it's too thick or if it's dry, you get those wrinkles. I don't like them. I'll try to get them out of there. Okay. A little better. Alright, so that's going to go like that. Flip like that. Pocket there. We'll close somewhere. You know, I'm going to have to close the top. I don't know. I mean, I could leave it open. Maybe it'll be all right. I did all that folding around, then I'm going to end up closing it. That'd be dumb. Oh, well. Is that the right direction? I think so. So sometimes I overthink things, guys. I think that's the right direction. Alright, we need to tear that side off. Not that ruler. This ruler. Gotta find a spot where I can actually push down. It just doesn't even look torn because it's too small. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so this edge, and then I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm going to leave it in some. And this edge, we'll just fake it. I don't know if the back needs it. Probably not. Honestly, I probably shouldn't go around now, I'm thinking, because I'm going to probably end up gluing it. I just don't know. It might stay without being an issue. I just don't know. Good question. I already started folding it. I guess I can keep with... Did I just stab myself? When you start feeling pain on your finger and you're like, did I just stab myself? These are really, really, really sharp. These little tweezers. They're so sharp. If you touch yourself with them, you especially get thin skin like me, then you immediately end up with a hole in your hand. Alright, we're just going to fold it around. Just because I already started it, I might as well keep it. Alright, so it's going to be, I'm just going to leave it open, I think. It'll be fine. Once this is glued down and it's in the book, I don't think it'll pop out. Well, it might catch. Oh, gosh, guys. I really wanted to leave it open. It's like I would have to just secure it right there. I could do that with maybe a brad. What if I did that? Because there's no way I'm going to glue that little bitty tiny spot. But I could maybe put a brad there. That might work. Then it would at least stay closed. Maybe I'll do that. Now I'm really overthinking it. Deborah says it takes her the same, more time to finish things too. It just does. I don't know how people finish things quick. I'm not a quick crafter by any means, but I'm also not a quick painter. It takes me forever to do a painting. I don't know. It's just how I work. It is what it is, right? That's cute. I like that. I got a half a bee still, but that's okay. We have one bee that's full. So paper for the inside. Ooh, would he work? Will he fit at least some? I could put him in there. Do I want to have it more centered? Maybe. Alright, so if I put him centered, it's like centered or half of his wing. There's no way for me to test the theory because this doesn't open all the way, so we're just going to do them centered. I think it'll be interesting. This is just what you see when you pull out the paper. I'm debating. I think I need to cut this just a little bit. So I'm going to cut that straight, though. I have my good trimmer here somewhere. With the actual blade that works. Oh my gosh, everything's falling. Alright. This is my older trimmer. My Fisker's blade on it. I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off. It was a good trimmer. Honestly, I've had this for 20 years probably, and it's been a good trimmer. It's just, I got the new one, so I quit using it. Alright, so we'll... Oh, I guess do the top so I can see how... Well, I've got it open, right? Oh, okay, I've got it open. I want to see where it hits. I'm going to have it hit right about... I'm debating if I need to cover the whole thing. It won't show much, but it will show a little maybe. Yeah, we'll pull it back down. Pull it down to about here. Should I cut more? I don't know that it looks horrible off center, honestly. We'll try it there, and then should I trim it after or trim it before? I should trim it before. Alright, so we'll make a mark. So here, I'll do a little less than that because I don't want it to be a tight fit, or I will never ever cut it. Right. Just a little bit less than that. Keep that piece, and I might even this out because I don't like the way it... I'll have to do it down here. I don't want it to be rough because it'll be easier to get in the envelope. Oh, if I can cut that small little piece. There. Okay. Alright, now I guess slide that in there. So I'm going going to do it the same way I typically do, which is to open it as much as I can and only glue the very edge of the item. I just want to make sure it fits in there first because I got a lot of little pieces that are not quite glued down. So we're going to fix those because they're going to snag and cause all kinds of issues. I'll fix that first. Don't glue to my top. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. Okay. Do that first because then I can get it in there better. It's a tight fit. It's not opened very big, so, but I think I can do it. Oh, that's better. It doesn't catch as much now. So we'll put this little bee here. I'm going to move them up ever so slightly. So I'm only going to glue this edge and then glue the rest by sticking the glue gun in there, or the glue bottle. Okay. It's tricky. I'm not going to lie. It's a little tricky, especially with all this bulk because I've thickened this up so much. Right direction? Yes. All right, so we're just going to shove that in there quickly. Hopefully we can get it in the right spot. Feels seated. I think it feels seated. All right, and then we're going to glue the rest of it. Just by reaching it. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfectly glued because it's only a background. As long as the edges are glued, that's what you have to worry about, edges. How high does that go? Almost to the top. I didn't quite go to the top, that's okay. All right, now glue that down. That should be good. And then we'll trim it here. I'm just gonna, ooh. You know what? I'm just gonna do that because honestly, it's just gonna look like another collage piece and it's easier than trimming it. So I just folded it around. Glue on there. We just have a collage piece on the back there. Okay, now we have that. Where's my little lid at? I'm gonna see how this looks in the envelope. Not the envelope, the card. Our little page. Pretty sure the page goes this direction. So it's gonna feed like this. There's still some spots I have to trim and glue better, but so like that. And then it will open like this, and we're going to put a little brad there to keep that down, because I think what will happen if I don't, it's going to, every time I try to close it, it's going to catch and possibly be an issue. So we'll just throw a little brad there. It'll look pretty, and it'll just give some texture. That'll be good. And then you can tuck from that way or that way, depending on what you want to do. I think that's better. Yeah, it's cute, right? And I've got cards I hope that will fit. I tried. I cut out a whole bunch of stuff. So hopefully some of them will fit. I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. Just to give it a good finish. Oh, I was going to trim this. It's a little off. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Just enough to bug me. The bigger ones. There. Better. A little bit of ink there. This side will show, so might as well ink it. And the only part that won't show, but all of this will. once it's glued down, it's much harder to ink. So, okay, good, good. All right, boy, I'm messy today. How much should I do? It took me an hour, 15 minutes. Yeah, right. All right, we're gonna throw a little Brad in there. So mine's gonna be very different than hers, but that's okay. That's the idea, right? I give you new ideas. Where is that sponge? Ugh, you've buried it, haven't you? Well, I have the big one. I really wanted the small one. I found it. And we need a Brad. Could even be a tiny Brad. It doesn't have to be a big one. And let me see. We've got it. Oh, we've got those black buttons. Where are they? Where's the black buttons at? That could be cute. Is that a button? Yep. We'll just use one of those. Why not? And I'm just going to use my awl because it's pretty small and cold. I've got a lot of layers to go through, but I think it'll be all right. I think I can do it. So what I'm going to do is attach it right where it meets up here, just this corner. So you could still put a tag this way and this way. It'll just have to be below, the Brad. And it's going to show on the front, and the legs will show on the back, but that's okay. I think I'll do it from this side because I can see it where I need to go better. How big is that? Okay, about right here. It's got so many layers, I don't think it's going to rip or anything. It's really thick. Really, really, really thick. Too many layers. I want this side to be smooth, so. All right, let's see if that'll go through now. Nice. Little button. And we'll fold the legs. I think. Let's see if I can get it to turn. It's tight. Turn. One more time. Did I get it? Not quite. I think it's okay. As long as I can get the legs folded down without them sticking out too much. There, that's not bad. Okay, we solved that problem. Attach to the page, find a card to fit it. I want to make sure this page is correct. Where's the rest of it? Girl, I don't even know where you sat it. Where did you sit it? Oh, way over there. It's like on the other table. All right, so that's front, that's front. So this was here. Yes. Okay. So like that. And then we're going to attach this like this. And since it opens back up, I can decorate it later. It doesn't have to be now. So I'm going to glue that to that. So we'll use our glitter. I think it'll be best. I'm not going to go quite to that edge of the fold. I will try to get as close to the edge as I can. I'm not going to try to make this a tuck or anything on the other side because it'll just be way too thick. Alright, so like that. Try to get it where I want it. About there. And hopefully I don't have any glue losing. Check that while I can. Oh, I got a little bit losing right there. Where's my towel at? definitely thick. Yeah, so hindsight, don't decorate the inside of that spot because it just adds too much bulk. Doable, but kind of bulky. And that'll still look pretty on this side. I will have to put something here to make it very clear that's not a tuck. Because if you're like me, you'd be trying to shove stuff in there. All right, so now we have that, like that, and then a tuck for that. So we got to find a card to go in there, which, like I said, I cut out a bunch of them. So we've got the Leanna Scrap Vintage Bee Ephemera Printables. One of these should fit. Don't know which one. Let me put my lid back on before I forget. Glue off my fingers. Put my all up before I stab myself. Okay, so let's see what will fit. That's too tall. So so we have that little brad there. So the top part, if it went in through the top, it will have to be narrow, like, bookmark size. So in through the top, you can easily put something bookmark size. Okay, don't know that we're going to bother, but in through the side, we need something that will fit just inside that area. Hopefully I have something. Maybe if I trim it a little. Not bad. This one I feel like it's going to need trimmed a little if I use it, but I think it, nope, it's tiniest bit large. Do I have a smaller one? I do have a smaller one. Let's see what this one looks like. Also pretty. I think I kind of like the bees better than that. I like that a little bit better. So maybe that one. That would also work, but I'm happy with this. So let's use that. We'll go ahead and ink it and everything. It could have a tab on it, just to make it a little easier to get in and out. As long as the tab isn't any bigger than right there. Shall I trim that white edge or not? I think I'll leave it. But I might round it. Rounding the edges always makes it easier to go in and out of pockets. If I'm going to round it, should I get rid of the white? Let me see. Probably. Just want to see how much smaller it's going to make it. I think it'll be all right. I don't like the way it looks. I could throw this in my trimmer, but honestly, it's just as easy to use the scissors. Just gonna ink it. And round it. And it'll just go in a little bit easier, I think. Making a mess. Ink. Dauber. There you are. I'll try to do one more, but I don't know. I'm going to try to do the pocket one. So we've done one of these. And I might make one off camera. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe I just won't have that many. We'll see. You know me, I'm going to end up bulking this guy out a whole lot more than I should. Because I always do. I'm going to ink the back of this so it looks a little bit better. There's a nice journaling spot. Put a tab on there. What can I put on there for a tab? Good question. I had some tabs somewhere. They weren't, I think they were my porch prints. Let's see if I can find them. Porch prints, small pieces. What do we got? Bunch of little bees. Just want something to be able to grab hold of. Probably not a bee, not a butterfly. Oh, I know there's some little tab thingies in here. These things, oh, they're really big. They're much bigger than I remembered them being. I think they're too big. Even if I cut it down, I think it's too big. Okay, too big. What else could I use? I could just use a little piece of ruler. Just to be able to grab a hold of. Needs to be small. What are these? That could work. I'll do that. They're really tickets, but that's okay. I think it'll look fine. Alright, so see if one looks better than the others for the front. I think I'll put this little music one on the front. And then I'll put, honestly, any of the others on the back. We'll do the honeycomb one on the back, since it's there. Fold it. Well, I guess I just need to cut it because it's going to stick out. So, and then we'll glue these back to back over the page. And then I'm going to just take off those little edges. Try and do it one-handed. It's going to be messy. I have little bits everywhere, but that's okay. Work themselves out. All right, there. All right, so we're going to glue. We'll glue one at a time, just to make life a little easier maybe. So I want this to be like that. Should I ink it? Sure. Just a little. We got the ink sitting there anyway. Might as well use it. And we're going to put glue. I'm just going to worry about this edge first. So we'll just glue that. I'm on the right side, right? Yes. Okay. Make sure. I have to think about how it looks through the window. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Trying to get it a little bit straight. All right, and then we'll do the other side with this little honeycomb. Tweezers. This one will be glued completely. Try to line it up. terrible. All right. And we'll try to ink that, just cover up any white edges that might be showing. For the most part, it matches pretty good. Tiny bit of white. And we have a little tab. It really should dry for just a minute, but I think it'll fit. Let's make sure. Hopefully it does. Yes. All right, so our little tab sticks out right there. Our thing is a little small, but that's okay. It'll work fine. Just have to move it a little bit. Okay. So there's that one. Makes it a tiny bit bulky, but gosh, I have stuff everywhere. This is my porch prints. Let's try not to get these all confused. All right. Well, that's later we'll wonder where they go. Okay. Let's see what we got. So we have that and that and that. That works. Got a little brad there that's kind of cute. And then we'll put something there later, and we'll put something here later. Maybe it might just be left as a journaling spot, but I think it's cute. So that's good. So that's one down. It's very bulky, so I might jump over to the other one. We'll jump over to a different one. I could probably fit it in there, but we'll do a different one. Let's see which one's less bulky. They're about the same. Let's see if we can get one done. Where's the brown one? I think there's a brown one in here. Maybe. Yes. Do I want that one, or do I want it on the front? They want it on the front. Okay. So we put this one here. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this paper. I may just leave it for texture. Sometimes that's nice to do. Okay. Envelope, where'd you run off to? There you are. So this one's going to just attach to it. It's not going to flip out, I don't think. It could flip out. That wasn't my original plan. If I don't have it flip out, then I could have it just be a tuck behind and a window inside with possibly an opening there. So it could be two. It could be a spot behind, the window here, and then the one that goes here. Maybe. Helps if you think things through before you start. But. So this is made by finding one with the window on the top section. This one does have the flip out thing, which we may or may not need. I definitely won't need it from here on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. 'Cause even if I do it as a flip out, I don't need this whole piece. Do I want to use that for stability at all? No. We're not going to. If we need stability, we'll do it with what we add on there. Alright, so take that piece off, and it could possibly still be a flip out. This piece, I got this by figuring out how high up I wanted the pocket to be, approximately, and just pushing right here. And then I had a point to go to. No. Then I took this second piece. Oh, I started at this diagonal and went down. If you watch her video, she explains this probably so much better than I am. But And then you just need to chop that piece off. We don't need that. So all we're doing is getting a little diagonal pocket out of this, which I'm not going to reinforce because I do have like a spot right here. I'm going to have to cover that for sure because it doesn't go far enough over. That's okay. I'm going to make it work. So we're going to cut this diagonal off just like it is. So it's going to be a pocket. It can be two. It can be one here, one there. I just have to cover this with paper. It could also have a notch on just the front one, which I thought about doing. But I have to remember to do it after. Before I glue it, but after I make it with paper. All right, so that'll be that. This will show through. This, I might close. Because if I do it as a flip out, I lose the ability to have two spots. And I kind of like the thought of having two spots. So we won't do this one as a flip out, but I will just glue this shut so that it's solid. So I'm going to glue this to this, preserving the opening. Don't get so close that you have issues. So I just want as close to that as I can without it hopefully oozing. I don't think it'll ooze. All right, glue that shut. I'm going to cover it still, but that's fine. Well, I might not cover that. If I'm going to glue it down, I probably won't bother. So that'll go like that. Pockets here, pockets there, tuck. And then I think I want to open this up for a top tuck. I want the back tuck to be here and then the top to be here. So let's chop that off. I'm going to just cut a teeny tiny little slither so that I can hopefully strengthen it with something. Which is just a little slither. It's going to be hard to cover the inside of this one though. I shouldn't have closed it up. Oh shoot. Did my glue ooze or was that already closed? I don't know. Did I go too far? Oh, I see what I did. Oh, girl. What were you doing? I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I don't know what I just did there, but I closed it somehow. I'm going to open it back up. Somehow I put glue in the wrong spot. Let's see what I did. I didn't account for there being an opening on that side. All right, that's fine. It opened back up. It's fine. So I'm just opening that back up with my palette knife. It'll be fine. Now, how I'm going to cover that, I don't know. I should have done it before I glued it. That's okay. I'll make it work. So we're going to cover that with something so it's pretty. Let me find something I can slide in there relatively easy. Maybe like a harder, a little firmer paper. Let me find a firmer paper that will go in there. How about, I've got these scraps. I bet one of these would fit. Let's see. So good backgrounds. Maybe too busy. Maybe one of these. Yeah, I bet I could slide that in there. Oh, do you want that or that? I've also got some of that bee paper, but it's a little more busy. Let's go with the flowers. I already have a bunch of honeycomb. So we're just going to cut this so that I can hopefully slide it in here to cover up that background. That's the plan. Is this cardstock weight? It'll make it a little easier to get in since I closed it. All right, so we're going to glue the bottom. try and shove it in there. Right to where we need. Don't go too far down. Okay. And then we'll glue the rest of it once we think that's secured. So I'm just going to reach my thing in there and do it the best I can. Ideally, guys, do all of this before. As long as I get it to where it sticks down, that will be good. The top edge really is the most important. And I'll probably fold something over that anyway. All right. Let's make sure I haven't glued myself closed again. I'm always gluing them closed. That looks good. All right, so now we've got a background. That worked okay. I didn't mess it up. All right, so now we got to make some pretty paper on this. I think I'm going to use the stiffer paper on this since I have to cover up that little section there. So how about maybe one of these little bee papers. It's pretty stuff. Also got this one. Seeing which will look best with that. That is, what is that? The Yasm papers. And this is the Yasm papers. I do like this one. I can't tell direction. Oh, it's this way. Well, the direction isn't quite the right way for this one. The bees are all, excuse me, sideways. But this one. It's the only thing with some of these are kind of directional. So maybe not those because they're kind of directional. But this will be. What's on the other side? Sunflower. Trying to see what would look good there. I guess either one of these aren't bad there. It's just gonna, I think it'll look pretty. So I'm gonna put this cardstock on the outside just because I think it'll strengthen that spot better. And it really just has to be right up to the edge. I don't think, I'm not gonna fold it or anything because I think that side gets glued, if I remember correctly. And this side will be inside, so that doesn't need anything, so just to there. So we'll just mark that. I hope I'm thinking about it right. It's the problem when you're kind of doing things without really watching the whole tutorial. But I figure I could wing it. So this is gonna go here. Did I get it the right size? Kind of, sort of. I think ink will hide it enough. So we'll just trace this if I can figure out where the fold is. Let's put that like that. Stay wiggling too much. And then we'll cut that off. Do I want to go over the edge? No, I don't think I do. It's too stiff. Oh, wow. Did you see what I did? It totally wrote on the envelope and not the paper at all. Because it's got a little lip there, I guess. And I was on the wrong side of the lip. Let me see if I can get it. Am I on the right side? I can't tell. It's got like a funny edge. There, I got it. Okay, so we're just going to cut that. If I remember which piece it is. I think it's this piece. No, it's way too tall. That's okay. We'll trim the bottom, I think. I'll line up the top and trim the bottom. All right, so we'll just glue that on, but I think I'm going to have a notch, but I think I'll cut it before I glue it. So this little spot here is going to be a little bit tricky because it's open, so I just have to remember no glue there. So I think I'll put the glue on the envelope. It's probably going to be safer. Just fix this a little bit better. Make sure it's kind of sort of straight. It's not. There. No, it's kind of sort of straight. All right. So we'll glue this. I'm gonna put the glue on here because I don't want it to hit that spot. I guess you can see, right? To tell what I'm talking about. Only if you can see the opening, because the way see, it's open. The envelope didn't go all the way up. So, but we're gonna cover all the way over. We're just not gonna put glue there. So just to the edge of that. Otherwise, I'd lose like a half an inch of that pocket, and I don't really want to do that. Try to get that relatively good. Hopefully to the edge where I want. Try not to get glue all over everything. I'm matching the top and the side. Okay. Make sure I'm not oozing too much onto my envelope. All right, so we still should have an opening here. That doesn't absolutely have to be covered. I mean, it is the inside of the first pocket, so I don't think it'll show a little. I'm going to cover it with a lighter weight material, just something solid. Just because it will show a little, especially if I do the notch on the front. So I'm just going to throw some of this in there. Only because it's going to have that notch. I wanted to have a notch so that you could tell there's two pockets. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a line on the other side and try to put the glue where I need it. I don't want to glue the whole thing. All right, so, gosh, I can't think. Hold on. Yeah, okay, glue here. So I got to pull off this part. I don't need all this. Okay, now we'll figure that out in a second. All right, so this is going to go here. The only part that's really going to show is where the notch is. All right, so I'll glue that in there somehow. I think I'll try the usual method of putting some at the bottom. Maybe just a little up the side. Let's see if I can get it in there. Can always trim it. Make sure it doesn't close. Nope, we're good. Okay. I'm going to trim it. Actually, I might have to glue that edge just the tiniest bit. Is that right? I'm totally talking to myself. Yes, it's right. Okay. Phew. Scared myself. I put glue in the wrong spot. All right, so I'm going to trim this again. Gosh. I'm shaking. Blood sugar probably dropped. That's really crooked. Try that again. Almost had it. Oh, now I'm eating into the envelope. Girl. Trying to get a good cut. Now I'm really fast. All right, there. Finally. Okay. Now I'm going to put it in the notch before, so I don't forget, because I will totally space it. And then I went to all that trouble for no reason. So let me put my little notch. think this one will fit. If not, I'll use the smaller one. So just a little notch there. It's just, yes, I think, yes, the front one. It's just to let me know there's a pocket there. So now we have a notch for the front pocket, and we know there's a back pocket. So you know there's two. And then we can just ink that a little bit before we glue it. Not that I'm going to glue it right this second, I don't think. We can ink our little notch. Alright, now we have that. So we have to cover this. This won't be seen down here, so it's not a big deal. Gotta cover that. So, what time is it? 30 minutes, okay. Do I want to use that same paper I used last time? Not really. I kind of want something different. I printed out a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I can find something a little bit different. I had the flowers. Will they match? No, they don't really match. Nah, that's too much. Okay, let's find something else. What else do we got? Lots of papers. Figure out something. Maybe the darker one this time. Is it too dark? I don't know. Trying to see how it would look through that. It may not be bad. It's like a postcard thing. So either that or one of these. I think these are too light. Yeah, these are too light. I have blue. I don't think blue. Yeah, definitely not blue. Definitely not purple. What else do I have? The only other thing I have this honeycomb pattern. I'm thinking I want it solid. I've already got that honeycomb pattern right there. I think I want the postcards. I think the darkness matches the darkness of this better. So let's do that. So we're going to put this on here. We're probably just going to collage it on because it'll be easier. So it'll just be, this is already kind of a collage, so it really doesn't matter direction or anything. So we'll tear the edge so it's a nice torn, interesting look. Where did my ruler go? There it is. So I'm just going to get myself a torn edge here to start with. Just set it on my grid. Okay. So think about direction this way. Okay, so we're going to put this here. I feel like I'm really crooked. I must have torn really, really crooked. Girl, are you that crooked? I thought I had it laid straight, but I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, I'm way off. All right, we're gonna try that again. You know, I'll just tear this edge. No, because then it'll be upside down. Bear with me. I'm stressing out because I can't tear a straight line. It wouldn't have mattered except it wasn't seating right because obviously the you know, the bottom piece wasn't seating. There, now it's seating right. Alright, so put this little piece here, I think. Actually, I kind of like it better up there with all that writing. I'll put this piece here. I'll just trim this right here, about there. Doesn't have to go all the way down. I'm going to keep that straight. The back going to show on this? It's not, right? No, I don't think so. So we don't, I'll fold over, but it doesn't matter. but I might fold over just because I think it'll be easier. So I'm going to cut this off, and we'll say here, just a little bit. Should I just tear it? I should totally just tear it. See if we can get it straight this time, though. We'll just tear it with a regular ruler. All right, one piece. Ink for our little edge, so it's not white. Not sure exactly where I'm gonna put it, but somewhere around there. So about there. We'll tear that there. We don't need to worry about how straight it looks because it's not going to show. That's going to go there. Too small. All right, I'll just do another one. Tore that with the ruler. I don't guess it matters. Just use this piece. I'm just going to cut a bunch of pieces because I keep grabbing that one. It'll just be easier. Alright. Put this piece there. This piece here. And we'll just do it straight to the edge there approximately. So just tear this off about here. I don't really need that much, but I'll keep it. So I'm trying to hurry. Taking too long. Where'd my ink thingy go? I buried it. Oh, there it is. I think this is a cute little junk mail envelope pocket though. I like that it has multiples, because that's always fun. So that goes like that, that goes like that. This isn't even going to show, so we don't need to worry about that. And then we need a piece for the top. And we'll just do maybe one of these. I'm not going to go all the way over, so I'm going to tear it. Ruler. I'm so good at losing things. Do that. Ink. And that can go approximately there to say right here. Right there. Ink. Okay. Start gluing. Glue this piece down here. Okay. And then waiting if I want it under and then over or on top. I think under and then over. So how far over is that? Let me fold it so I can see. Alright, so about there. Let's just go and do this one first. Just going to get a little bit of that. I'm not sure how far over. Okay. That I'm going to fold into our little top pocket. But not that far down because it'll show in the window. So about there probably. Before I glue it. Oh, I already glued it. That's okay. All right, I'm going to tuck that in. Just so it just, I don't like them snagging. Sometimes if you don't tuck them, they snag. All right, there. So top pocket. All right, that's fine because that doesn't get glued. It's not going to affect that. That should be fine. I have to talk to myself, make sure I'm doing it right. This will go here. Okay. This is probably going to be like a side tuck, but I don't think it'll affect this any if I fold it. So right up to the top edge. There. Push. That's okay, I'll ink it. It'll be fine. There's that. All this back stuff is just our tuck area, so it won't show. It doesn't really have to have all this bulk, but so we'll trim a little of it off. Just so we don't have a ton of bulk. I could just stop on the edge, but I just always think it works better if I could fold over because these things snag. And I think trying to get something in a tuck or a pocket and it's snagging is the most annoying thing. I don't know if y'all get frustrated with that too, but it annoys me. So this little pocket just gonna get a little bit of glue on the edge right there. And it should glue it down fine. Put just a tiny drop there and a tiny drop on the edge because that gets closed, but just not as closed as it would have been. Where's my little bone folder thingy or my palette knife, one or the other? Just want to make sure I still got a good pocket. Only want it just glued on this edge. Alright, so that's a good pocket. That's going to be glued to that. And then this will be a tuck, and this will be a tuck. So, do I want to put anything there? I think I want to fold something over right there, just so it'll look a little bit better. So I'm going to put just a little bit of this, I think. It'll only show a little bit, but it will show, so I'll try to cut this. I'm just going to lay it on here because I only need one side. Go in just a little bit. Okay. See if it fits. Of course not. Why would it fit? Now it fits. All right, so that's going to go like that. Let's see how far down I can go. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll go ahead and fold it so I know where to stop. And then pull that back out. Put the glue on this, I think, so I'll never get it in the right spot there. Let's see if I can get this to go in and not stop in the wrong spot. Maybe. Maybe. Did I get it? Hold on. Almost. Gotcha. much better. Glue that down. Okay. Just make sure it's glued down so it doesn't snag when I go to pull the tag in there. I'll just glue this little edge better. Make sure it's nice and secure. So I think that's the side I would be pushing it in and out of. Yeah, I think so. We'll do this one just in case, but I don't think it's the right one. Can't even get the glue in there. That's fine. All right, good enough. Good enough. Now we need to glue this pocket. Is it ready to be glued? Got all the ink undone. I'm going to ink a little bit more, just to be sure. The top piece, so there's no white showing. A tiny bit of white showing right there. And that's our pocket. If I didn't close it, I didn't. It's just stiff. So top pocket. I didn't put a notch there. I could. I don't know. Glue there. Okay. And then I'm just looking to make sure it looks pretty solid. Okay, I think it's good. So our top pocket's good. A little bit of ink. Everything's pretty inked. Cute. Okay. Now we'll glue here and here, because I'm not going to leave this open. One of them, on one she somehow folded it and had another tuck, but I didn't do that. It was too complicated. So a little bit of glue here. And here. For our other pockets. Try to make sure it's somewhat straight. I knew it wasn't going to be straight. It wasn't straight when I started, so why would it be straight now? Yeah. I have so much glue on my fingers. Oh my goodness. All right. There. Okay, so now we got to find cards to put in there and put it in our spot in our journal. Well, I got 2 done. That's good for me. You know how that goes. All right, so this is the right one, I think. It's all scraps. Put all my scraps up. All right, so this goes here, right? Yes. So we're going to put this. It just fits. Am I coming about to the middle? That way there's a little bit of room there for the tuck. And then, right? Oh. No, that's right. Yeah, because the pocket's there. Tuck here, pocket here, glue here, here, here. Right? I think so. Whew. All right, so don't glue the side that you want to be having access to. So 3 sides. Remember, we got our inside pocket here. So hopefully my glue won't ooze into it. Enough glue to hold this down because it's a little thick. So I'll have to keep the cards a little bit smaller just because I'm having to come over a little bit. I just want to make sure it adheres to this. All right, so this is going this way. Somewhere toward the middle-ish. That way I have room for a tab if I want one. Okay. It's a little crooked. My envelope's a little crooked. Oh well. Not a biggie. Okay, make sure it's down. It feels like it's okay. All right, let's see, cards. What do we got? So we need something for our back pocket, which should be too wide. Possibly. Not sure I like the color though. Maybe. We'll need a tab. It gets a little lost in there. That picture does, doesn't it? What else do we got? Be journal. I have a feeling the words won't make any sense because, yeah, all you can see is just some of the print. Don't like that. Now, any of these could go sideways here that are small enough. These are all big. Has to be smaller than, say, about this. I may end up having to I may have to cut something out to fit perfectly, but for right now, we'll find something. This could go here too. I think I like this one on the side. I think it's a good size. Needs ink and maybe a pull tabby. This is the tricky one. Let's see. What about that? Put a tab on the top. How much is going to show? It still shows weird through the window. Now I can't get it out. Oh my goodness. Bee journal sideways. I don't know. I don't know. What if I backed it on something? I'm trying to find some way of fitting one that'll fit through the window. This isn't bad if I back it on something, like something taller. A little piece of black paper or something. Most of these have a lot of writing on them. This has the Beekeeper's Review on the inside window. That's not terrible. So either this or this backed on something. And then we've got little places for different cards. So we could put tall or short. And then the back pocket has a spot. Did I glue that? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. No, I didn't. Okay. It's a little tall, but possibility. Pure honey. That's cute. I kind of like that one. I put that there. I'm going to take off that edge, though. I don't like the white edge. Golden honey sideways. I don't know if I've got some from my porch prints, too. These are all Liana's. That's not bad. It'll cover up the window, obviously, when you have it in there, but when you take it out, you'll see different things. And that'll be there. Okay. Time is it? We're so out of time. Oh my goodness, don't throw your cards on the floor. All right. So that's good. I like that. I like that. I think I like this one. I like them both, but I think this will work the easiest. So, but this one I don't want it to have this white edge. It just doesn't work with it. Yeah, I'm never going to cut that with my trimmer, so. Try to get straight with scissors. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Having the really long scissors definitely helps. It makes a big difference. Okay, so ink that. Where's the dauber? There it is. I might round it. I should round it. Yeah, let's round it. It needs a tab, but again, time. I don't guess it's a big deal. I'll go over a little. I gotta find a tab. I could do those tickets again. It did work. Although the bigger one might work on this one. It might have enough room. That one I showed you first. These are all just on, they're on what is called white dove. It's not quite white. It's a recollections paper. 65-pound cardstock. So it's not quite a solid white. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so it just needs a tab to pull on it. Where's that, my porch print stuff? I think maybe that thing I showed you guys will work. Let me see if I can find it. All my little bees. I thought it was, I know it's in here, I just don't know where. Oh my gosh. I probably already passed it. It's on this side, isn't it? Gosh, they hide well. Everything hides well when you're trying to find it. There it is. Okay. This one and then this one. And then we could just use any of those tickets, I guess, for the side ones. But I thought this might be good on this one. So maybe, so we got 25 cents on one side, B on the other side. To that will be there, or that. Any thoughts? Anybody still here? So we got that, or the little B. Is the color, is this color better? I kind of feel like it is. I like the little B, but I think this color might be better. I'll do that one. We'll put the B somewhere sooner or later. I don't think he'll work on the side one because I think it's too big. He'll cover up too much of the picture. This had a lot of room. But the side ones need like I think the ticket or something, because I think these are just going to take up way too much space. Either. Okay. Well, we'll go with this one. Let me just ink it because it's got some white showing. All right. So stick this on here. I think just to those little points will be good. So I'll try to get the back side on first, or the front side on first. See if I can get it centered. It's pretty centered. All right, and then we'll fold it. This will be cute. And there's plenty of room for the tab, so, which isn't always the case. All right, plenty of room for that. There we go. Got a little bit of white showing. Okay, so that goes in there. Now we have a little tab to grab a hold of. Makes it much easier. And then we need this to go here. We need to trim this. This isn't trimmed even at all. Guess I'll leave it square. I thought about, is it straight enough? I guess that's straight enough. I'm just going to leave it square, but I got to figure out a tab for it. I might have to make a tab later, guys. I don't know. Honestly, I need to eat. I'm very hungry. Okay. So that's going to go there. It's going to have something. I'm going to pick out one of these. I think one of these tickets, which I'll just do off camera. It's not a big deal. I've got a ton of these little ticket things, and they seem to be working out real nice as tabs. So I'll find 2 that match and add them on here. And then get that back in there. This just needs inked or something. Just straighten that out a little bit. Not too bad. Ink it. Okay, so that's going to go there. On the head in the front, head in the front. Front little pocket there. I think it's cute. You guys like it? I hope you liked it. I know it took a while. I'm sorry. That's just me. I can't do stuff in 15 minutes. I just can't. All right, and then that'll go behind like that. So it's a very full little pocket. And like I said, I'll add some of these tabs to this one here. I just don't know which 2 yet. I'll pick them out. Okay, so that is our project. Let me get my glue cleaned off and back in here before it dries. Pen. Okay. Honestly, I could probably just go ahead and pick these out. It's not going to take but 5 minutes. I can't pick it up. Oh my goodness. Bonnie says, looks get. I knew what you meant. Let's see. Give a little bee. We have a little beehive. Admit one. Do any of these look better with this? They're all kind of cute. I like that one. Overkill with the big scissors, girl. Alright, we'll just use this one and this one. I like it because the bee is like, it's got like a line. And I can kind of like line that up, I think. Here's my hole punch. I'm just hole punching these edges so they still kind of looks like a ticket. Not very straight. I think this one's just cut weird. Let me just trim it. There, better. Okay. So we're going to line this up. Ink. Alright, so this little bee is going to go here. Glue this edge, try to get it kind of sort of centered. That way it doesn't cover too much of the image. Squeeze really light so I don't move it. All right, and then the other side's just like floral. I figure it didn't really matter. Should use tweezers. Make my life much easier. Okay. match it? Let go. All right, we'll just move it. Try to move it, move it, move it, move it. Fast, fast, fast. You know it's art glitter. It's going to dry in 10 seconds. Not even 5 seconds. All right, looks like it matches. A little bit of ink. And we have a card. Make it around just a little bit more. I could cover this with a little bit of writing paper if I wanted, which I might not. I don't know. It's not absolutely necessary, but there. Now it's got a little tab. Okay? Okay, we did it. You're loving it? Yay. I'm glad. I'm happy. Okay, so we did 2 little junk journal pockets. They're both cute. One is just one I do all the time that a billion people have done. This other one is by Dee Dee, with whoever I said earlier. I don't know where my piece of paper is. Dee Dee Farago, F-A-R-A-G-O. And I'll link the video in the YouTube description, not this one. So we have, let's see. All right, so we've got this one, and no, it must be this one. I have to remember where I put things. There it is. Okay, so there's our 2 projects. This one's a flip out with a pull card, and the other one is a attached with a pull card and a pull top, and 2 little tickets. And I might throw a little bee on here later. I didn't do a lot of extraneous decorating because I just ran out of time. All right, there it is. Thank you guys for watching so much. I will be back on what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Friday. I'll be back on Friday. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you then. Take care.